Yo, what is up guys? Nick Nakai here, Let's Drift Media. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. It's first time here, please hit that subscribe button down below. So today's episode, we are back at Danny T's shop and we're gonna be doing a little different video. Pre-inspection, used car, things to look out for, just tips of advice. Danny just bought this beautiful Tundra right here for a really good price. Even though he didn't do an inspection, we're gonna do the inspection right now and let you guys know some things that we look out for when we go to buy cars and some helpful tips. Once again, do me a huge favor and go follow Danny T for allowing us to film these videos and provide more content for you guys. All right, Danny, so what do you got here?
I just picked up this Tundra, 2000 Tundra, 4-wheel drive. I think it's limited. I don't know if it's limited, but it has leather interior. I needed a truck just to haul, tow, do truck shit. And I want to try off-roading, so this is gonna be my little project. So buying used cars, there's a lot of ways to go about it. This is what I kind of do. I talk to the seller, pros and cons, read the listing, go through it there, and then yeah, see what's been done maintenance-wise. Sometimes if you're really serious, you can get a Carfax, but most of the time I just look because I don't spend $20 or whatever it is. But if it's a big purchase, I'd consider a Carfax. But yeah, I asked the guy about vehicle history. I test drove the truck. Then I looked through it pretty much bumper to bumper. So I start with the outside exterior, and then I look at the engine bay, and look at the underside, and then from there's the negotiation part where you say, okay, this is how much you want, and this is what I'm willing to offer because this thing needs X, Y, and Z, and this is what I'm gonna have to do or pay someone to do if you're not gonna do it yourself. So it's I guess good video just to see what exactly is needed when you're buying a used car, because I have people all the time, they buy a 2010 Nissan Sentra and it needs a CVT trans, but they bought it because it was a new car for $5K, but there's a lot of issues that you can get with a used car, and sometimes your old car is better than the new one you just bought.
Alright Danny, so what are some things like you'll look under the hood?
So the first thing that caught my eye was oil leaks. This thing was pretty clean for the most part, but on this car the valve cover gaskets were leaking. I still are leaking. I just bought this thing on Wednesday and today's Sunday.
Yep.
So I just bought this thing. If you look down here on this V8, you can kind of see right here all that wet spots on the sides right there. And this thing sounds like it has an exhaust leak too, but I haven't really looked at it. I'm not super worried about it. So it had that was one side. I think this side was leaking too.
I think I cleaned myself.
That was my girlfriend Luz.
Hi.
These trucks have been really reliable. I've seen these things 300, 400K, no problem. All it really needs is this thing is really just timing belt. That's the most issue I've seen on this thing. Upper and lower ball joints, the main service spark plugs, oil changes, taking care of your diffs and transfer case on this car. But yeah, I want to off-road this thing and tow shit, so I got this.
So this guy wanted how much for this truck?
Oh, so he was asking, I think $6,000, and he was up in Apple Valley, and I am here in SGV. So we actually met midway at Ontario Mills, and that's where I came with a buddy, and we looked at the car and then did a test drive, and we started negotiating. But I guess I don't know if you'll point out what's wrong with the truck or just
well, what do you look for when you go on a test drive? What are some tips?
When I'm doing a test drive, first thing I do is turn on the car, see how it sounds. Well, before that, make sure that it has engine oil. It's kind of a common thing. Some cars are actually, you know, if it's leaking really bad, they won't have any oil in. Some people, most of the time, if you're selling a car for used, something's wrong with it. Like they don't want to say it, or like there's issues with it. Like when I've sold cars, I sold one bucket, but I mean I disclaimed it, most of the stuff that was on there. But I mean I told him like this car needs a lot of work, and he ended up buying it. But I was like, woo, dodged me a bullet. When I'm going to test drive, turn on the truck. Make sure the AC and the heater work, see if the radio works, see all the lights walk around, because what you're doing is looking for anything that's wrong with it, so that's going to give you some leeway on your negotiation. Yeah, check if the lights on the dash. This thing has the ABS light on, and it looks like it's the rear right wheel speed sensor, but I mean, to someone that's selling a truck, they're like, oh yeah, that could be something else, or it could be a big problem, or you have to pay so much money. So you're all like gathering this down. Sometimes I write down in my notes on my phone, so I'll take note of everything that's going on. Sometimes you drive a car 10 miles and I mean like 1 mile and it's fine, and then 10 miles later it's like doing something crazy. So yeah, test drive, start the truck, do a walk around with the truck on, and then go pull out, drive it. I drive it, you drive it hard, because I mean, if you want to make sure this is installed for you, want to make sure you're pushing. You don't want to like, just go 25 miles an hour in the parking lot and like, oh, okay, this is cool. Punch it. Do a lot of like hard turns left to right. See if there's not a lot of play or any weird creaking, cracking, like wobbling or something that feels loose. Stepping on the brakes, getting up to highway speed. If you're on that area, drive on the highway. I mean, I'd suggest if you're a serious buyer and something that you want to spend some good money on, 5 to 10 mile road test. But I mean, if you're buying a car that you know needs work, I mean, just kind of take your risk at it, you know. And yeah, checking radio, checking the interior.
Making sure everything works.
Making sure everything works. This video's kind of on the fly, so I'm trying to think. I didn't really write anything down.
So how did you get the price from 6K to what, 4K you said?
Yeah, 6 to 4. So here's the listing. It's at 5,500. So 2000 Tundra, 170,000 miles. I got a 2000 Tundra for sale. Everything works great. Taking them down the hill for work. 4x4 works perfect. Touchscreen, Bluetooth, radio, title in hand, 170K. So from there, I talked to the guy. I was like, hey man, like, what's up with the truck? Like, I'm serious, I want to buy a truck. We talked and he said, yeah, I had the exhaust manifold gaskets replaced and upper bulging or something. So I was like, okay, cool, like, you know. He said he worked a man show, so he was driving the truck, I don't know, 100 miles a day from Apple Valley to Ontario. So I mean, if he's doing that, I already know off the bat the truck should be reliable if he's serious. And the guy was willing to meet me down in Ontario, so I knew he at least had to drive the truck from Apple Valley to Ontario, because I was gonna meet him the night before up there, but I was like, oh, it's like 2-hour drive. So we ended up meeting in Ontario, so I knew the truck was at least reliable enough to drive. So test drove the truck, looked at it, I'm like, oh, here's my points on the truck that will either make me want to buy it or make me want to not buy it. I'm like, so this thing off the bat, as I did my whole vehicle inspection, the ABS light was on, was the first thing. When you drive this thing, after like 10 minutes, the AC will start to warm up, but then sometimes it goes cold, so I'm like, hey man, like, this AC is not working the best. And then the main thing I was telling him was like, there's little parts under the truck where it's like spots of rust, but it's not really a big deal, but it is something that could be a concern in 10 years. So I was like, hey, like, this is what's up the truck. And then the oil leaks and the exhaust gas leaks, and the dude is like, yeah, I get it. And then the body's not the best, but I mean, I want to off-road it, so I didn't want a clean body, because if I did and I scratched it, I'd probably be upset. So I was happy with what I got for the price, and I was like, hey man, like, for all the work that's gonna need, I needed rear tires too. All the work it's gonna need, I'm willing to consider paying $4,000 for this car. And I kind of stuck firm to my price, because my buddy Dane, he went with me, and he's a very good negotiator. He's like, as you're the buyer, the quieter you stay, the better it is for you. You're leveraging yourself so you're in a better position. Because this guy, first of all, he wants to sell his truck so he can get his money or get the space or whatever he needs. Second of all, I want the truck, but if I don't seem I want it as bad as he wants to sell it, then he's gonna be like, okay, like, this guy's serious. I had cash in hand. Like, it's a lot of, that's $1,500 difference right there. But I mean, considering all the work it's gonna need for me to do it all, parts wise, it's probably costing me like maybe $500 to $1,000, because I'm gonna do all the fluids, timing belt, water pump, check the ball joints, needs tires. Maybe I might just put new wheels on it. I was like, hey man, like, all this work it's gonna need, I'm at least gonna have to spend at least like $500 to $1,500, like, if I had to do it myself or pay somebody. And he thought about it. He's like, 4.5K. I'm like, nah man, like 4,000. Like, I'll take it right now if we do 4K. And he's like, yeah, cool, let's do it. So I was like, sick. Got myself a truck, well, another truck. But yeah, this thing, I've driven it so far about 200 miles, and I've done truck stuff with it. I picked up my other lift with it. That's gonna get installed sometime this month. I wanted to install it ASAP, but I'm just busy working. But yeah, this should help get some cool stuff going and help me run errands and whatnot. Well, one of the other things too on this thing is this thing's a little funky. Like, oh, it's a little weird, but if you just snap it hard enough, it's okay. Like I said, it's not the best body. Like, there's concrete stuck in the back. This is a little loose, dents here and there, scratches and like right here. But I mean, I'm gonna off-road it, put engines, tow cars. Like, this is not the biggest deal to me.
And it's all stuff you can help negotiate the price with.
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't fix it, I probably wouldn't even fix it, to be honest with you. It's not worth my time and money. But I mean, yeah, it's rough, but I mean, truck's solid. With some more work and love, it'll be good. And fun little project to work on too. That's about it. We'll look at the rest of the body.
Yeah.
Considering it's a truck, I mean, most people that with trucks, they're using them for work. So look at the damn car. Like things like this, not the biggest deal, but I mean, some people like clean things. But yeah, this wasn't a make it or break it for me. But some people it might be. But yeah, for a car it would be a bigger deal. For a truck, I'm like, this is cool. But yeah, Toyota is a really common thing for upper and lower ball joints to blow out. So when you've seen Tacomas or like those T100s, IS200s, anything Toyota really, those ball joints are very known to snap. That will cause the wheels to like bend out or like snap. Or like, I'm pretty sure you've seen one on the freeway. But yeah, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, drop it on the comments below, and maybe me and Nico can address it for you. Let's see what else you guys think.
Yep, you heard it first. Don't forget, let us know anything. You guys have more questions. Hopefully this video was helpful when buying a used car. I know it can be a little bit scary, so if you don't know really what you're looking at, if you don't know really anything about cars, just hit up one of your homies, bring a friend, or you could also take the car to the dealerships and do a pre-purchase inspection. That way you could have a professional look at it, because like Danny said, last thing you want to do is drop 5-10 grand and then get bitten as, like, find out it's salvage, it's got a bunch of electrical damage, engine damage, and just really going to break the bank later on, and you're going to be pissed.
Yeah, most places will charge about an hour to do a thorough inspection. I mean, it really depends on the car itself, but I mean, you spend 50 to 150 bucks on the inspection, and if it's something serious, you know, you buy it and then you're happy because then you decide, okay, I'm not going to buy this car, or I'm going to buy this car.
That's all. Thank you, Danny. That's it for this episode, guys. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. Once again, don't forget to follow Danny T. Real great guy, allowing us to use his shop and bring you guys more content. So, that's it, guys. Catch you guys later. Peace!